Kemi stood in front of a mirror inside her modest luxurious room, smiling softly. Her black dress hugged her tall, slim body just right. She had just graduated from Lagos State University a few months ago, and even though the sun was hot and the streets noisy, she felt peace inside her. Her dream was finally beginning. Kemi lived in a small apartment in Surale, a busy area in Lagos. It wasn't big or fancy, but it was hers. After graduation, she didn't want to sit at home waiting for a white-collar job. She had saved some money from her NYSC days and from helping a friend sell clothes online. With that, she rented a small shop and turned it into a mini boutique. The boutique was small but neat. She painted the walls light pink and added mirrors that made the room look brighter. Clothes hung neatly on silver racks, and a glass shelf displayed shiny necklaces, earrings, and bracelets. It wasn't a big business, but it was hers, and she loved it. Each morning, Kemi swept the floor, arranged the clothes, and opened her shop with hope. Customers came and went. Some bought, some just looked. Sometimes, she didn't sell anything all day. But even on those days, Kemi never gave up. She smiled and told herself, better days will come. Kemi's life was quiet, but she liked it that way. She didn't go out much, and she didn't have many friends. People often said she was too quiet, but Kemi didn't mind. She liked watching people more than talking. She believed action spoke louder than words. Business was going well again. The rains had stopped, and more people were coming to Kemi's boutique. The street was busy, the air smelled of roasted corn, and the sound of bus horns filled the evening air. Kemi was arranging new clothes on the hanger when a black SUV parked in front of her shop. A tall, round man stepped out. He was dressed in native wear, soft blue with white embroidery. His dark glasses made him look powerful, and his gold wristwatch caught the sunlight. Beside him was a young girl, maybe 16, wearing a shy smile. "Good afternoon," the man said as he stepped inside the boutique. "Good afternoon, sir." "Welcome," Kemi replied, giving a polite smile. "This is my daughter, Sandra. She needs some new clothes. I heard this is one of the best boutiques around here." Kemi felt proud. "Thank you, sir. Let's find something she'll love." As Sandra tried on different dresses, the man watched Kemi quietly. He noticed the way she gently helped his daughter, the way she smiled without trying too hard, and the way her eyes showed kindness. He hadn't seen someone like her in a long time. He smiled. "My name is Chief Obinna. I live not too far from here. You have a good heart, and your shop is clean and classy. I'd like to talk to you again sometime." He brought out his phone and handed it to her. "Please, can I have your number?" Kemi hesitated for a second. Then slowly, she typed in her digits. "Thank you, Kemi," Chief Obinna said. "You'll hear from me soon." After they left, Kemi stood still for a while, looking at the door. Something about the man felt strange. He was polite, respectful, but his eyes, they held something else. Something she couldn't name. Kemi was busy one quiet afternoon, adjusting a mannequin at the front of her boutique, when Chief Obinna's black SUV pulled up again. This time, he was alone. He stepped out of the car with a calm smile, dressed in another fine native outfit. He looked confident, but not loud. Kemi wiped her hands on a cloth and greeted him politely. "Good afternoon, sir." "Good afternoon, Kemi. I hope I'm not disturbing your day." "Not at all. Please, come in." They sat and talked, at first, about business. Chief Obinna asked how the boutique was doing, if she had plans to expand, and what challenges she was facing. Kemi found herself opening up a little more than usual. He listened carefully and even gave her some tips about marketing and customer service. From that day, he began to visit more often. Sometimes he came with food, sometimes with a new handbag or wristwatch as a little gift. Kemi always tried to be cautious, but it was hard to ignore the attention. Chief Obinna treated her with respect and never rushed her. He was calm, charming, and seemed to truly care about her well-being. Weeks turned into months. Kemi found herself enjoying the conversations more. She started to feel comfortable around him even though he was much older. He gave her advice, encouraged her dreams, and offered to support her in expanding the boutique. Then one afternoon, while they were sitting in the shop, he looked at her and spoke in a quiet, steady voice. "Kemi, I like you. You're a rare kind of woman. I know I'm older, and I won't lie to you. I have a family. But I want you to be part of my life, the special part. I want you to be my woman." Kemi was silent. Her heart pounded. The words felt heavy. She had not expected him to say it so plainly. She looked away, unsure. He leaned forward gently. "Think about it. You're already special to me. I'll take care of you. Your shop, your rent, anything you need." That night, Kemi sat in her room with the lights off, thinking. She thought about the months of struggles, the slow business days, the bills, and the fear of returning to joblessness. She thought about the gifts and kindness he had shown. She also thought about how lonely she had felt since graduation, no true friends, no family in Lagos, just her and her dream. By morning, she made her choice. It wasn't love. But it was something close to safety. And so, she said yes. From that day, Kemi began to live a double life. By day, she was the quiet boutique owner. By night, she was Chief Obinna's secret companion. Chief Obinna kept his word. He made sure Kemi never lacked anything again. Her boutique, once small and quiet, now looked more like a classy fashion house. He paid for a big renovation, fresh paint, new glass doors, bright lights, and even an air conditioner. He brought in new stock from abroad and helped her connect with richer customers. People in the area started to notice the change. They whispered about her sudden success, but Kemi didn't explain anything to anyone. At night, when the city lights dimmed and the street noise faded, Chief Obinna would come to her apartment, or send his driver to pick her up. She would dress in silence, her heart sometimes heavy, but she went anyway. Each night with him felt like a job. He was never harsh or violent, but she knew the truth, it was all a trade. He gave her comfort, luxury, and security. She gave him pleasure, warmth, and company. Everything between them was transactional, and deep down, they both understood that. Kemi tried to pretend it didn't matter. She told herself that she was only doing what she had to do to survive. She told herself that one day, she would leave it all behind, start fresh, and build a future where she wouldn't need anyone's help. Everything began to change the day Kemi met Tond. It was an ordinary Thursday afternoon. She was standing outside her boutique, scrolling through her phone when a young man walked past, then stopped and turned back. He smiled politely. "Hi, sorry to disturb you. I've been passing by here for weeks now, and today I just had to stop and say hello." Kemi looked up. He was tall, neatly dressed, and had a gentle voice. His name was Tond. He didn't act proud or aggressive like other men who tried to talk to her. Instead, he seemed calm and respectful. They exchanged numbers and began talking. At first, it was just casual conversations, nothing serious. But over the next few months, Tond became a part of her daily life. He called her every morning and checked on her every night. He never asked for anything. He simply wanted to know her better. At first, it was just casual conversations, nothing serious. But over the next few months, Tond became a part of her daily life. He called her every morning and checked on her every night. He never asked for anything. He simply wanted to know her better. Then, one quiet evening, Tond said the words Kemi never expected to hear. "Kemi, I like you. No, it's more than that. I love you. I want to be with you. I want you to be my wife. Kemi froze. No one had ever said that to her before, not with such honesty. At first, she laughed it off. But Ton was serious. He wasn't rich like Chief Obinna, but he had dreams. He had a decent job and a clean heart. They were close in age. When Kemi thought about it carefully, she realized something surprising: she actually felt safe around him. He didn't demand her body. He respected her soul. So, she said yes. Weeks later, Ton told her he wanted her to meet his parents. Kemi was nervous but excited. It felt like a fresh start. A real relationship, not built on gifts or secrets. But the moment they stepped into the compound of his family house, her heart dropped. The gate. The flowers. The painted walls. It was the same house she had visited many nights before. This was Chief Obinna's house. She felt her body go cold. Ton was Chief Obinna's son. She stared at the front door, her legs shaking. She wasn't just about to meet his parents. She was about to come face to face with her secret. And everything she had built, everything she had hoped for, could come crashing down in seconds. When they walked into the living room, Kemi's heart nearly stopped. There he was, Chief Obinna, seated calmly on a brown leather chair, dressed in a traditional white outfit. He looked up and smiled politely as they entered. "Kemi, meet my father," Ton said cheerfully. "Daddy, this is the woman I told you about. The one I want to marry." Kemi's eyes met Chief Obinna's. For a second, time froze. But Chief Obinna simply nodded and said, "Oh, welcome, my dear. You're most welcome to our home." He stretched out his hand and gave her a firm handshake. His eyes gave nothing away. Not even a flicker. Kemi forced a smile. "Thank you, sir." She sat through the visit in a daze. She barely touched her food. Ton's mother was warm and kind. His siblings asked friendly questions. But all Kemi could think about was the man sitting across from her, the same man who had held her in the dark, whispered promises, and sent her money after every night they spent together. That evening, after most people had gone to rest, she found a quiet corner of the compound. Moments later, Chief Obinna joined her. "Why did you act like you didn't know me?" she asked, her voice shaky. Chief Obinna looked calm as always. "Because I didn't want to destroy everything in front of my son," he said simply. "As long as you don't say anything, this secret stays buried." Kemi stared at him, confused. "So what happens now?" He leaned closer. "Nothing changes, unless you want it to. We keep things the same. I still take care of you. You still make me happy. Just, don't let your new life get in the way." Strangely, Kemi felt a wave of relief. The fear in her chest eased. She nodded slowly. And just like that, the secret was sealed again. A few months later, Kemi and Ton got married. It was a beautiful wedding. Family and friends danced. Kemi wore a white gown that shimmered in the sunlight. She looked like a dream bride. To the world, she was now Mrs. Ton Obinna. But in the shadows, her arrangement with Chief Obinna continued. Nothing had changed. He still sent her money. She still visited him, sometimes secretly, sometimes under the excuse of checking on the family. Their relationship remained the same, businesslike, secret, and dangerous. Kemi now had two lives, one with her young, loving husband, and another with his father, built on gifts and desire. Months after their wedding, Kemi found out she was pregnant. She was filled with mixed emotions, joy, fear, confusion. She looked at Ton sleeping peacefully beside her that night, and her heart ached. He had been so good to her, so loving, so true. She knew it was time to let go of the past. So she stepped out quietly and made a secret call. Chief Obinna answered on the second ring. I'm pregnant, she said softly. There was silence on the other end. It's Ton's child, she added quickly. So please, I think we should stop seeing each other. It's time to end this, whatever it is we've been doing. There was a long pause. Then Chief Obinna replied, if that's what you want, fine. I won't force anything. Kemi felt a heavy weight lift from her chest. Thank you, she whispered, then hung up. But what she didn't know was that Ton had woken up during the night and heard her leave the room. Out of curiosity, he followed quietly. And as he stood behind the half-closed door to the hallway, he heard everything, every word, every secret. His heart broke, but he said nothing. He simply returned to bed, eyes wide open, mind racing. He kept acting normal, smiling, helping Kemi through her pregnancy. But deep inside, something in him had shifted. Then, one evening, Kemi screamed in pain and held her stomach. Ton rushed her to the hospital. At the hospital, the doctor examined her and said it was a sharp muscle strain, common in early pregnancy. They gave her a mild pill to help her relax. Ton held her hand, smiling gently. After taking the pills at the hospital, Kemi slowly drifted into sleep. Her body relaxed, her mind heavy, but her heart was at peace, at least for that moment. Hours later, she woke up. The soft light of the hospital room glowed above her, and the first face she saw was Ton's. He was sitting beside her, holding her hand gently. He smiled when their eyes met. You're awake, he said softly. Kemi managed a tired smile. But before she could say anything more, the door opened and the doctor walked in. His face didn't carry good news. He walked over slowly and looked at them both. Mrs. Obinna, he began, I'm very sorry. But, you had a miscarriage. The words hit Kemi like a thunderbolt. Tears welled up in her eyes. Her hands reached for her stomach in shock. No, it can't be, she whispered. But beside her, Ton's face didn't match her pain. He still held her hand, but his eyes looked distant, cold, and unreadable. Kemi turned to him, confused. Ton, why aren't you crying? Why are you acting like this doesn't matter? Ton slowly stood up and walked to the window. He looked outside for a few seconds before turning to face her. I know everything, Kemi, he said, his voice calm but heavy. I know about you and my father. I heard you that night. I know how long it's been going on. I know what he gave you. Kemi's heart stopped. She couldn't speak. I said nothing all this while, he continued. I wanted to see if you would come clean. But you didn't. He stepped closer and looked straight into her eyes. So I took something from you. I paid the doctor to remove your womb. Kemi gasped. You'll never be able to carry a child again, he said. That's your punishment for betraying me and for sleeping with the same man who gave you away at our wedding. The room spun. Kemi screamed, but the damage was done. Her world collapsed around her as tears streamed down her face. And for the first time, she realized she had truly lost everything. After a few days in the hospital, Kemi was discharged. She was quiet all through the ride back home. Her heart was broken, her body weak, and her soul tired. She couldn't believe what had happened, how everything she once held had slipped through her fingers. When they got home, Ton didn't say much. He helped her carry her bag inside, then stood by the door and looked at her coldly. I want a divorce, he said flatly. Kemi turned slowly, shocked. Ton, please. I already sent the papers, he interrupted. You'll sign them. And I want you out of my house before the end of today. Kemi broke down and fell to her knees. Please. Ton. I'm sorry. I made a mistake. But he walked out and closed the door behind him. That was the end. By evening, Kemi packed her bags and left the house she once called home. Now she has no husband, no child, and no womb. Everything was gone. In her pain and confusion, she tried calling Chief Obinna. Maybe, just maybe, he would help her. But his line didn't go through. And when she went to his office, the secretary told her that Chief Obinna had traveled abroad with his wife. No goodbye. No explanation. No help. Kemi sat on a public bench that night with her small travel bag beside her. She stared into the dark street with empty eyes. The world moved on around her, but her heart felt frozen. She had lost it all. Her dreams. Her love. Her future. Now, all she had left was herself. Thank you for watching my video today. I hope you've learned a valuable lesson, that no good thing ever comes from deceit and lying to people. Also, to every young lady out there, please take this as a warning, never follow the path of Kemi. Choices may seem sweet at first, but they can lead to pain and regret. Stay true. Stay wise. Stay strong. See you in my next video. Kindly subscribe to support my YouTube channel and please turn on the notification bell to stay updated when I drop contents that incite and educate people.